What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Bigbabyjonathan here. Welcome to the latest edition of the Bigbabyjonathan Sports podcast. And on today's show, I'm going to be talking about my top 10 greatest power forwards of all time and my top 10 greatest ball handlers of all time. But first, let's talk about my top 10 greatest ball handlers of all time. Number 10, Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose has an amazing ball handling skill. He can dribble between the legs. He'll cross you up. Even though he got injured in Chicago and then went to Minnesota and then he's on Detroit now. But if he wasn't injured, he would have the best ball handlers of all time. I don't care what anybody says. Derrick Rose's ability to get to the rim with ease. He's quick on his feet. Get by you in and out, in between the legs, Euro step. I just like his ball handling skills, just his ability to get to the basket. He's quick. He's really quick. Because I remember the Lakers played them on Christmas. It was hard to stop Derrick Rose. He went by Derek Fisher. He went by Antoine James. He went by Ron Artest. He went by all these great players. But Derrick Rose is quick. Derrick Rose is my top. Start off at number 10. Number 9, Deron Williams. Deron Williams has a great crossover. He's not in the league anymore. He was drafted by the Utah Jazz, but he had an amazing crossover, man. His crossovering ability was amazing. He crossed people. I liked when he would cross people up to hit the step back three. Just his ability to cross people up. He's quick on his, he's quick just like Derrick Rose. Deron Williams is really quick on his feet. Deron Williams is really good at crossing over in between the legs, in and out of the legs, in between. Just quick, man. I'm telling you, Deron Williams is quick on his feet. And, he's not in the league anymore, but he's number 9 on my list for the best ball handling of all time. Number 8, Jason Williams. The reason I picked Jason Williams is, man, he would, just his ability. He could get the rebound, push the fast break, stop on a dime, in between the legs, out. He'll do a no-look pass, elbow pass to Chris Webber, Vlade Divac. He was exciting to watch. So, Jason Williams had an amazing passing ability. Just overall, his passing ability and his ball handling skills combined with that was amazing. He did cross up Derek Fisher, Ron Harper, and stuff, which it happens. It's the NBA, Jason Williams is on my list at 8. Number 7, Pete Maravich. Pete Maravich, man, his ball handling skills is tremendous, man. He would throw in between the legs, no-look pass, behind the back pass when you're trailing. If you're not looking, you'll get hit in the face. Pete Maravich, I never watched Pete Maravich, but I saw some of the highlights. When I was studying for this podcast today, I was watching everybody's ball handling skills, the people I picked. Pete Maravich, man, had that sick-ass crossover, man. That stop on a dime, no-look pass. He would dribble in between the legs, pull-up jumper, bop. So, Pete Maravich, man, he's up there, in my opinion. This is just my personal opinion, so anybody that listens to me, don't take offense to it. This is just my personal opinion on my top 10 greatest ball handlers of all time. Pete Maravich is at 7 for me. Like I said, so we just have to bear with it. Now here, from 6 to 1 is going to get really interesting. Number 6, Jamal Crawford. The reason I picked Jamal Crawford is Jamal Crawford would do a Euro step. Actually would stop on a dime, Euro step, layup. In between the legs, back and forth, cross you up, pull up jumper, pull up three. Just the way that Jamal Crawford would bring up the ball and cross you up, man. Because every time he crossed Ron Artest when he was on the Clippers. When he was on the Clippers, he did it in between and out, left, right, and then Ron Artest fell. So it was hard to guard. It was hard to guard him. It's like his ball handling skills is amazing, and he's quick when it comes to ball handling. He did some crazy crossover. It was in New York where he stopped on a dime. Actually, he was on the Knicks. It was against the Bulls where he's dribbling, went behind the back, Euro stepped over somebody and laid it up. That's really amazing. Not a lot of players can do that. You know what I mean? Jamal Crawford's up there, man. And number 6, I had Jamal Crawford. Number 5, CP3. CP3's crossovering, man, is amazing. You know, it's really amazing what Chris Paul can do as a ball handler. You know, he would cross a lot of people up when he was with the Hornets, the Clippers. You know, even the Thunder, he's still crossing people up. You know, Chris Paul should be put in the conversation. Like my conversation, he's here at number 5 for me. But overall, he should be put up with the best point guards of all time as well. Not just crossovers. He's an amazing point guard at what he does. Passing ability, rebounds, no-look passes. You know what I mean? Chris Paul is one of my favorite point guards. You know, one of my favorite point guards. I just like his ball handling skills. You know, it's crazy. You know, it's unguardable. You know, Chris Paul is an unguardable ball handling / crossover. You know, and let's see here. I said Chris Paul number 5. Jamal Crawford, number 6. So, number 4, Tim Hardaway. Tim Hardaway, man. On Golden State Warriors, back up in the day, I like his ball handling skills. Just the way that he brought the ball in between the legs, in and out, you know. Euro step. You do a lot of Euro stepping, man. You cross people up, shoot 3 in your face, he'll talk that mess, you know. Tim Hardaway was an amazing ball handler back in the day. You know, even though his son is on Dallas right now. Great, talented player, but Tim Hardaway is amazing at ball handling skills, man. Just as the way they got up on the court, in between the legs, step back 3. I just like Tim Hardaway. Tim Hardaway's ball handling skills. Number 3, Stephen Curry. Stephen Curry can pull up from 30 and cross you up and shoot a 3 in your face. Stephen Curry has one of the best ball handling skills of all time. Just the way they can dribble, pull up on a dime. He doesn't need to cross you up. He could just, in between legs, in and out, pull up 3 from 30 on you. 30. You know what I mean? Let me say that again. Stephen Curry can dribble up the court, cross you up, and pull up from 30 in your face. I've seen it happen. You know what I mean? He can pull up from 30. He can hit shots from the logo. His crossing and his crossover skills is talented, and also his ball handling. The way that you do on the court is when you run the point, no look passes, get people open. Got Draymond Green open, Kevin Durant, Clay, everybody on the Golden State Warriors. Stephen Curry, it's great ball handling. Great at ball handling skills, you know what I mean? Just like his ball handling skills, he's a good facilitator. Before Kevin Durant got there in Golden State, that offense ran through Stephen Curry. You know, ball handling skills off the screens. He would set people up, no-look passes, behind-the-back passes, you know, in between the legs, in and out, make people fall, shoot from 30, drop 30 points on you. You know what I mean? He won MVP. Put respect on his name. Yeah, okay, let's see here. Number 2, I got to keep it 100, which I always do. Number 2 is Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson is great at ball handling. His ability to get to the rim quick, in and out. He crossed Michael Jordan. He crossed Tyronn Lue. He stepped over Tyronn Lue. Just Allen Iverson was a freak of nature at ball handling skills, man. Like, there would be times where he crossed somebody up, in and out, make somebody fall. The crowd goes, you know. He crossed Antonio Daniels when Allen Iverson was on the Sixers and Antonio Daniels was on the Wizards. He said behind the back, in between the legs, Antonio Daniels fell. And then Antonio Daniels was about to get up, and then he crossed him again. He fell twice. That's amazing ball handling skills, man. Ball handling skills. I like when people have great ball handling skills. It's just crazy. You know, Allen Iverson's up there, man. And for my number 1 ball handler of all time is Kyrie Irving, man. Kyrie Irving, his ability to get to the rim, you know, boogie on you. You know, in that Game 7 in the NBA Finals, he was crossing. That whole series, he was crossing people up. Prior to that playoffs, he was crossing people up, shooting from 30. Kyrie Irving was on a mission to win that championship. You know, like, before I came on here, on this podcast, I was watching best ball handlers of all time, and Kyrie's up there, you know. His ability to cross you up, get to the rim with the left-handed layup, you know. Like, slides through the defenders, layup every time, left-handed every time. Kyrie Irving was amazing at getting to the rim, crossing people up, you know, and his finishing at the rim was amazing, you know. Just like his step-back 3 was amazing, and his reverse layup was amazing. Just like, you know, overall, he's one of the greatest ball handlers of all time. I don't care what anybody says. That's just my list. But now let's move into my top 10 Greatest power forwards of all time. Number 10, Julius Erving. The reason I picked Julius Erving is it's just that Julius Erving would get rebounds, push the tempo, dunk on you, post up. I just like Julius Erving's game. I didn't watch him live. I studied him before I came on this podcast. Julius Erving is amazing at what he does. Rebounds, dunk on you. I know he dunked on Michael Cooper with that rock the cradle type of dunk. Just like his game. Very physical, playing defense, shoot the mid-range. He's number 10 on my list. Number 9, Pau Gasol. The reason I picked Pau Gasol at number 9 is because Pau Gasol was an amazing, underrated passer. When he was on Memphis, underrated passer. He would post up in the post, spin move, left hand, right hand, layup. And he was great at rebounding, blocking shots. Just his mid-range jumper was amazing. That pick and roll with him and Kobe. Step out, shoot the mid-range, post up. Underrated passer, he could shoot the three. Just like when Pau Gasol would get in the post and go to work. He shot too many threes towards the back end of his career when we had Mike D'Antoni on our team. He shot too many threes and he needed to get in the post, go to work. Pau Gasol made timely shots in the playoffs with the Lakers. If it wasn't for Pau Gasol getting to the Lakers in that trade, I don't know, man. Who knows what would have happened if we would have won a championship. We probably would have done something, maybe make another trade, but I feel like the Pau Gasol trade was the icing on cake for us to get us the championships. You know what I mean? So I just really feel that Pau Gasol should be in the conversation for one of the best power forwards of all time. That's just how I feel, He's a veteran, very underrated passer. His ability to get people open, shoot threes from time to time, and he got more physical. When he got beat up in 2008, he got more physical. Kobe Bryant toughened him up, and we won 2 straight championships. Okay, here. Number 9, Kevin McHale. Kevin McHale is number 8 on my list for the best power forward of all time. His post move was unguardable. His back to the basket, spin move, pump fake twice, layup. Every time. His mid-range was tremendous. His defense was decent. Overall, Kevin McHale's post-up move was amazing. I just liked Kevin McHale's post-up game. His ability to post up, right hand, left hand. Just overall, Kevin McHale was a dominant big man. Very physical with, the Lakers, the Pistons, the Bulls. Overall, he's physical. So he's up there on my list. Number 7 is Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman is the best rebounder of all time. I don't care. Anybody says Dennis Rodman would get 20 rebounds and have only 5 points, but he would impact it defensively, diving for loose balls on the court. Just his energy, defense. Because in today's NBA, if Dennis Rodman played, he would be averaging 20 rebounds a game. That's how dominant he was. That's how dominant Dennis Rodman was, everybody. He would get 20 rebounds. Play physical, play hustle, grit, grind. Just his energy defensively was amazing. Everybody says, Michael Jordan won by himself. He had Scottie Pippen. And Dennis Rodman was part of that championship team too. Don't discredit Dennis Rodman, people. I don't care. Anybody says, man, it's just crazy. People need to put respect on Dennis Rodman's name, man. So, yeah, man, for number 7 was Dennis Rodman. Number 6 is Dirk Nowitzki. Dirk Nowitzki, I just like his game. He's on my list. Just that tenacity on the offensive end, that post-up, one-legged fadeaway net every time. He would hit clutch shots. Just overall, Dirk hit clutch shot situations every time, and his three-pointer was amazing. Just his three-pointers overall was amazing, because when the Lakers lost to him, or when the Lakers lost to Dirk in the Dallas Mavericks, Dirk was in an amazing run in the playoff series I've seen in a long time. Just him shooting threes, playing defense, just hitting big-time shots, just making nothing but rainbow type of threes, nothing but the bottom of the net. In the finals when they beat the Miami Heat, he was playing tremendous, hit game winners. Just overall, He was hitting big-time shots in that series, in that NBA Finals, and also throughout his career. He was taking big shots. Him and Steve Nash were... If Steve Nash stayed with Dallas, I feel like Dallas would have 2 championships right now. Y'all would think I'm crazy, but I feel like Dallas would have 2 championships by now. But Steve Nash and Dirk, but Steve Nash was still coming into the league. He wasn't finding his game yet until he went to Phoenix. You know what I mean? So I feel like Dirk is up there, man, with the best power forwards of all time. That's just how I feel, man. You know. So let's see here. Number 5, Kevin Garnett. Actually, excuse me. Yeah, number 5 is Kevin Garnett. The reason I picked Kevin Garnett, number 5, just overall his hustle, his grit, his grind, his ability to play a tough defense, block shots, just his passionate for the game was amazing. His post-up, spin move, jump shot was unguardable. Just very passionate, getting rebounds, talking mess to certain players on the court. Just overall, I liked Kevin Garnett's game. You know what I mean? Kevin Garnett is an amazing type of player. I wish he was on the Lakers, but he was a Celtic. You know what I mean? Just like if you talk mess to him, get prepared for him to talk back to you. And just he's a veteran at winning. He made timely shots down the stretch in the playoff series. You know, he was on Minnesota. He didn't have help, but he got help in Boston. But on Minnesota, he played at MVP type of level. He won MVP, you know, hitting game winners, getting the crowd going, blocking shots, post up, spin move, dunk, you know. His defense, passionate on the court was amazing, you know. Just like his game when he was on Minnesota. And when he was on Boston, he won a championship for them in 2008, you know. So, number 4, Chris Webber. Chris Webber should be in the Hall of Fame by now. People need to put respect on Chris Webber, man. Underrated power forward, in my opinion, because not a lot of people put respect on his name. Chris Webber's number 4 on my list. Just like a very underrated passer. Mid-range jump shots, amazing. Like, in those playoff series with the Lakers, when I watched him, because I was a Laker fan. You know, Laker fan. I'm still a Laker fan. Big-time Laker fan. When we played the Kings in the playoffs, it was hard to stop Chris Webber. He was getting like 25 points, 15 rebounds, you know, hitting timely shots. It was hard to guard him, but and then when he left from Sacramento to Philly, he was still playing at a high level. And then once he got out of the league and then came back to go to Detroit, and then he didn't have anything left in the tank. But overall, Chris Webber should be up there as one of the best power forwards of all time. And I just feel like people need to put respect on Chris Webber's name. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, he's talented at what he does. You know, that Kings team was talented. You know what I mean? No cap. Like, I'm not hating or being rude or anything. But for me, Chris Webber's very underrated power forward because not a lot of people talk about him. You know what I mean? It's just crazy, you know? People don't like Chris Webber for some weird reason. He's not in the Hall of Fame yet. He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, you know? Again, maybe because he's in a small market like Sacramento. Okay, what if Chris Webber was on had the same exact outcome of a career on like the Lakers or the Knicks? Would he be in the Hall of Fame? Just let me know there. Just let me know. People that listen to me on my channel. Number 3, Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley was an amazing power forward, man. He would get the rebound, push it from length to length, and dunk on you. He wasn't shooting threes and playing that soft. Nah, he was bully ball. You know, Charles Barkley playing that bully ball, barbecue chicken in the post. Him and Shaq had some battles. You know, they fought with each other, you know. That was when Charles Barkley was on the Rockets and Shaq was on the Lakers. But Charles Barkley was on the Sixers, the Suns, and the Rockets. You know? So, Charles Barkley, man, double-double machine, man, getting rebounds. Just liked his game, you know. I watched some of his highlights before I did this podcast and watched a couple games fully. Charles Barkley was a beast on the boards, man. Beast on the boards. And if you box out, if you don't box out, he's going to get a rebound over you. You know what I mean? He's going to get a rebound over you, and he's going to do a stuck dizzle. You know what I mean? I just like Charles Barkley's game. And number 2, the mailman, Karl Malone. Number 2 on my list for the best power forwards of all time. The reason I picked Karl Malone, man, he was an amazing defender, mid-range jumper. Like, just overall, he's a veteran winner. Too bad that sucks that he didn't win a championship because Michael Jordan hit that game-winning shot, and so forth and so forth. But Karl Malone, him and John Stockton, 1-2 punch, pick and roll, post-up. His post-up was unguardable. His post-up was really unguardable. I really liked how he posted people up. He's bully ball. He wasn't shooting. Like I said that about Charles Barkley, but Karl Malone wasn't all about that buddy, let's go get something to eat after the game. He had battles. He hated people on the court. He was rough. He was physical. He'd get into it with everybody on the court. He got into it with hella people on the court back in the day. You know what I mean? So it's just, Karl Malone's a great Hall of Famer. You know what I mean? Well-deserved, man. Like, Hall of Famer regardless. All these people I'm mentioning, Hall of Famers. You know what I mean? But now, for my number one power forward of all time, the big fundamental, Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan's the best power forward of all time. I don't care what anybody says. He had a very successful career in San Antonio with Greg Popovich, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't have to go through any growing pains. He didn't have to ask out out of San Antonio. He was very loyal to San Antonio. You know what I mean? He's going to be in the Hall of Fame this year. Congrats to you, Tim Duncan. Congrats to you, Kobe Bryant. Congrats to you, Kevin Garnett. And that Hall of Fame is going to be very emotional to watch for me, because I'm a big-time Kobe fan. I might not watch it, to keep it real with y'all, because I don't want to get too emotional. 2020 has been a rough year, but I don't know if I'm going to watch the Hall of Fame. I don't know yet. That's in August, but we'll see. It's going to be weird to see the Hall of Fame. Kobe Bryant should be there. The Hall of Fame introduction, all that stuff. Tim Duncan's gonna be the Kevin Garnett, but Kobe, man, it's gonna be very emotional, and I don't know if I can handle that. So man, Tim Duncan is the greatest power forward of all time. He hit timely shots, crunch time. He beat the Miami Heat in the finals. He beat my Lakers when it came to playoff times. He would beat all these great teams. He would hit big shots against the Suns in the playoffs. He would just overall, he's very, very, very very skilled big man, power forward, very underrated, very great at passing, shooting, mid-range, post up. That three-pointer was good, but overall, Tim Duncan was a very, very great veteran winner. And he's an assistant coach right now for the Spurs, and I won't be surprised if he's a head coach in the next 2 or 3 years. You can book it. Or I don't know if Becky Hammon's going to be the coach of the Spurs. Probably. You never know. Greg Popovich probably still has a couple years left on his deal. But yeah, man, those are my top 10 greatest power forwards of all time, and also my top 10 greatest ball handlers of all time. And I'm going to end this Bigbabyjonathan Sports podcast. I'm going to leave all my social media link in the description. You guys have a wonderful night, and you guys have a good night. Peace out.